genesis of Triangle Park really started a few years ago at the end of a project I was working on with Chuck Leavell, who is the Rolling Stone keyboardist. I was really looking for something to do beyond that film called Chuck Leavell, the Tree Man. I started looking around for projects in my hometown. What could we make that was a story that was from here? Welcome to Triangle Park.
Pro Football Hall of Fame, our mission is to honor the greatest of the game, preserve their history, promote the values, and celebrate excellence together. We're always working with many passionate documentary producers and directors who are trying to recreate and retell the story of the history of the National Football League.
Once I started looking around, there was a couple stories that stuck out, and definitely the story of the Dayton Triangles in the first ever NFL football game really resonated with me. And I was really looking to see, did we have a story or not? Did we really have something that would be worthwhile to tell?
We've been in touch with Alan as he's developed this project the last 3 or 4 years. People love the Hall of Fame, marketers, companies, sponsors, and we allowed Alan to attach our logo when he was making the pitch out there to help him try to raise the money for his documentary.
Ready? You can come in real tight now. All right, let's clear frame. All right, guys, we're gonna go here.
This way. So I want him to be like out in the middle here.
Go on this left side of the field.
Then we'll take a look and see what we car.
We're going to Steadicam. Well, we were all really excited for day one. Filming finally was upon us, and we were going to film at Triangle Park, which is a historical field where the first game happened. That's where the Dayton Triangles played, practiced. That's where they built a locker room that you could still see to this day. All of these special feel-goods are there that day. And then to reenact what happened in 1920 was just a magical moment. So on day two, we were still at Triangle Park because the actual real field is actually now currently a baseball field. And it looks too modern to actually film the football reenactments. And there's a great story in the film about Chappie Johnson. Those reenactments of seeing Chappie coaching his baseball team, that all took place that second day. After we were done there, we headed over to downtown Dayton. We had scouted this great location. It still has all the brick and cobblestone. It still has the rail yard running through it. 1920, you had horses, you had cars, you had trolleys. All this was going on in downtown Dayton. We end up at Carillon Park, which in Dayton, Ohio, is like one of our most special prized places. After we finished the shots at the train, we then moved over to the historical locker room. The locker room is really the holy grail of the NFL. What happens in that locker room is pretty sacred. Dayton still has that kind of like holy grail of sports, which is the locker room. And that day we lit it from outside, and then you see the guys in the locker room. It just felt like you were in a time warp. On day three, we started off in the morning. We headed over to Springfield, Donaldsonville area in Ohio. We filmed at a place called Beach Manufacturing. I knew that that setting would probably work pretty well as a good representation for what factory life might have been like back then. A lot of these guys worked for the factory, but then some of them were pulled out of the factory because they needed guys to play on the team. It wasn't like there was 30 guys raising their hand to go out and get smashed up on a Sunday. What we were trying to accomplish with the manufacturing scenes was also is that you got a chance to see Deeds and Kettering. They were there. They got to come out. They got to talk to players or workers and try to bring them into the fold about joining the team.
I'm here today at Bender's to watch the filming of the meeting that took place at Bender's after the historic meeting at the Hutmobile dealership where the National Football League was founded here in Canton, Ohio. Bender's is a restaurant that looks like it could be in the 1920s. The casting is great, and it's a brief scene in the movie, but Alan, with his passion, wanted to keep it in the time period, knew that Canton would be the perfect backdrop for it.
So when I knew I wanted to make Triangle Park, I reached out to the Pro Football Hall of Fame. There was a guy working there that I'd known for a number of years named George Ferris. And I reached out to George and I said, hey George, I want to make this project about the Dayton Triangles and the Columbus Panhandles. There's never been anything ever done on it. Why? George was instantly on board. He was like, how can I help you? I want to see you be successful with this. When you're ready, come up to the Pro Football Hall of Fame. When all the actors showed up, kids and the guys that had just got out of high school, it was fun to see them go to hair and makeup and participate with the girls that would dress them up. They really wanted to make this and their role in this film so special. It was just a great moment to see when everybody came out to the field and we're all working together as a team. When you make a film, it's really important that you have a great team of people that are surrounding you. We were using everything from Red cameras and Sigma Cine lenses to gym cars. We really had a lot of tools at our disposal to make a really great film. And so I was very thankful. As a director, it's been a dream to work on this project and to have access to all of these players and descendants and people that are in the know of pro football. All the things that we can learn are really valuable to understanding what Triangle Park is all about. If those guys were still around, imagine what they would say. Imagine what we would learn from them.
What's the very first game played in the NFL?
I want to say the Packers